The NBA buyout market is just getting started nowadays with so many veterans getting bought out. Pat Beverly, Will Burton, and possibly Russell Westbrook, just to name a few. Today we just got some breaking news from the Cleveland Cavaliers, and we're talking about veteran Kevin Love. According to Cavalier team reporter Chris Vetter, quote, Kevin Love made a formal buyout request Wednesday, hours before team's final game of the first half. He wants to play, thinks he still can, and knew that was unlikely to happen in Cleveland. Now the two sides will work through the next step. Before all this, we were all arguing if the Cavaliers would buy out Kevin Love or not, and the Cavaliers general manager publicly stated that the team received multiple offers to move Kevin Love before the deadline, but they did not do so because they believe these trades will not help the team by a big enough margin. However, Kevin Love now initiates the request to be bought out. As the key championship piece during the LeBron James era in Cleveland, Kevin Love's departure will fully represent the end of the 2016 championship era. Now, here's something really interesting. According to NBA reporter Sam Amico, quote, along with the Heat, keep an eye on the Warriors and the Celtics when it comes to Love's next destination. He's a childhood friend of Warriors star guard Klay Thompson. It would not be a surprise if Thompson tried to recruit him. Take a look at this right here. Klay Thompson and Kevin Love used to play on the same Little League baseball team, so they go for a long way. In today's video, we'll be talking about why it makes perfect sense for the Golden State Warriors to acquire Kevin Love once he and the Cavaliers reach an agreement on the buyout. So with that being said, let's roll the intro. Yo, what's up guys, Jason's here back with another video. If it's the first time watching, I make NBA content every single day. If you want the latest NBA news and rumors on your feed, all you gotta do is to leave a like and subscribe so that you will not miss any of my future upload. Back in 2019, Kevin Love and the Cleveland Cavaliers signed a 4-year, $120 million deal. This year is the final year of Kevin Love's contract and there's a cap hit of about $29 million. Now, looking at the cap hit of these past 4 years, I just want to point out something that's really interesting to me. It's my first time seeing the team put a bigger portion of the cap hit in the middle of the contract instead of the end, because usually teams will try to push the cap hit towards the end of the contract. Now, here's the question. Why should the Cavaliers buy Kevin Love out in the first place? Well, here's why. This season, Kevin Love is averaging about 8.5 points, 6.8 rebounds, and 1.9 assists per game, while shooting a decent 35.4% behind the arc. However, in the past 15 years of his career, he is having the least amount of playing time right now at about 20 minutes per game. Now, if we think about it from the Cavaliers roster perspective, it makes even more sense to buy him out. As of right now, the Cavaliers front court consists of Jarrett Allen, who has a cap hit of $20 million, and Evan Mobley, in which the Cavaliers will likely extend him this or next offseason, and also Robin Lopez, who is a solid and cheap backup option behind these two young stars. So in my opinion, it doesn't really make sense to have another $29 million cap hit at the front court positions. Right now, the Cavaliers head coach made it clear that Kevin Love is no longer a part of the rotation. These past 12 games, Kevin Love did not play a single minute. So we can see here, there's a reason for Love's departure from Cleveland, but what about the Warriors? After sending out James Wiseman in exchange for Gary Payton II, the Warriors, already lacking frontcourt depth, just got weakened even more. So right off the bat, there's a need purely from the position perspective. Before we dig in, let's take a look at the recent history really quick. Back in 2014, the Golden State Warriors were really intrigued in acquiring Kevin Love, who he wanted out of Minnesota. Of course, we all know at this point that a deal for Love required Klay Thompson. Obviously, that trade never happened, and Kevin Love ended up with the Cleveland Cavaliers. You can see from this here that Kevin Love fits with the Warriors scheme and the team had interest in him. In terms of size and length, Kevin Love is 6'8" and can play both power forward and center. Now, despite the thumb injury that Kevin Love is dealing with, he's still shooting on a decent level behind the arc at about 35.4%. And if we look at the longevity of his entire career, Kevin Love is a 37% three-point shooter. Speaking of shooting, Kevin Love can plug in right away for Golden State. Looking at these recent years, the Warriors never had a center that can shoot. No matter if it's Kevon Looney, Zaza Pachulia, or even Andrew Bogut, Now, all the three players I mentioned here are not as mobile and therefore can't be played for every Warriors position. However, Kevin Love can, especially from the offensive end. A combination of Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Andrew Wiggins, Draymond Green, and Kevin Love can be the biggest nightmare for the opposing defense because everybody can shoot. Okay, maybe not Draymond Green, but this year he's shooting about 33% behind the arc, which is actually the highest for him in these past 6 seasons. From these years of playing with LeBron and Kyrie, you can tell that Kevin Love is really good at spreading the floor since the opposing team can never leave him open. In my opinion, if Kevin Love were to plug in at the center position for Golden State, it simply adds one more layer of challenge of the opposing defense because they can never leave him open like what they always do with Kevon Looney and those previous Warriors centers. Aside from shooting, Kevin Love is a really good rebounder, which again the Warriors need due to the lack of size. Kevin Love has a career rebound average of 10.5 per game with 2.5 offensive rebounds per game as well. The Warriors need help in basically every category when it comes to rebound protection and shot protection, so Love's presence will no doubt help a lot. Kevin Love has a defensive rating of 107. It's not the best, but the Warriors need help everywhere on the defensive end. From being the best defensive team last year to now the middle of the league, the Warriors have to get better on defense if they want a legit chance to compete for the title. As of right now, the Warriors are undermanned for the near future. There's no precise timeline when Steph Curry will return from his left leg ligament injury. In addition, the new acquisition Gary Payton II will not return until the end of the regular season or the start of the playoffs. That basically means that the Warriors need all the immediate firepower they need to secure their spot in the playoffs or even the play-in tournament. In my opinion, I would love to get Kevin Love. These contract after buyouts are always really cheap, and it would not hurt the Warriors if that doesn't work out because again, it's not a long-term commitment. I believe Kevin Love's shooting and rebounding will help out the Warriors a lot for the rest of the season. As Love mentioned, he has gas left in the tank. Now, one disadvantage the Warriors have right now is that there are other teams out there that have a better chance to contend. As mentioned before, Klay Thompson is a good friend of Kevin Love since childhood, so that is going to be key if the Warriors want to bring Love to the Bay. Alright guys, that's all we got for today's video. Let me know in the comment section if you think it makes sense for the Golden State Warriors to sign Kevin Love. If you enjoyed the content, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, and follow me on social media with all the links in the description box down below. Once again, thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I will see you guys in the next episode. Peace.